Encore Fantasy Podcast. I am your host, Josh Klein, owner of the Turks, going solo because we haven't had very many applications to join the podcast, which is surprising, but nonetheless, wanted to talk about the draft. Week one, lots of waiver moves. Phone calls, who knows what that means regarding, I should have put a little segue. The best rule change, just doing a status check of the league. And then everyone's favorite, who's hot, who's not. Let's talk about the draft. So, we were almost at quorum. We had a transvestite from Transylvania sitting in for the Dora Dogs. Not sure if they picked up on that or not because everyone kept, telling them to go back into the men's room. There's a couple of comments in the year regarding shutting the door on that tranny, though. But the draft, round one, not a lot of hype. I tried something different, though. I said I was going to sit and, watch. Normally I got the first or the 12th pick, the wraparound, so I'd pick and then leave. But I took gauge of the room. When is it expected? Thought there was going to be a little Bobby Witt action in the middle. But Shohei, Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, the ghost transvestite, took Jose Ramirez, who kind of has like a thick Adam's apple neck. So maybe that was the appeal. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I felt like the proxy did pretty good. Ronald Acuna, Ellie De La Cruz, Tariq Skubal, going to the League of Shadows and the worst logo in the league. Iowa Baseball Club. He was a time zone behind? I'm not sure. No, still in Central, right? Yeah. As expected, Kobe had him pegged. Kyle Tucker, Julio to Mikey, Fernando Tatis, which I don't think got enough noise. I'm not sure if he was a first round pick, but Julio with the Garrett Crochet wraparound. Besides what Garrett Crochet is doing, I thought was a sexy combo, right? Flyers took Paul Skeens and Gunnar Henderson. No idea what those guys are doing. But yeah, then we went Vlad Ito, Nick Kurtz, Cal Raleigh. You see some major power. Chew, not scared by the helmet bull. Bone break with Corbin Carroll. Jackson Chourio, unfortunately, I was targeting Chourio a little bit, thinking he'd come to me at 24. And the transvestite took him. And then shortly after that, after the World Baseball Classic, Chourio was headed to the IL, so that's fucked. Shooter took Jazz Chisholm, another one that the models had me taken with the second base, third base eligibility. I was pretty hot for that, but I got a thing against taking guys on my team, and to be quite honest, I'm not a fan of Jazz Chisholm. The real pick right before Pandemonium happened was Pete Alonso. I was pegged for Pete Alonso, and I was going to take Pete Alonso, Trey Turner, and then Diddle did it, and Diddle did this a couple times in the draft. So I looked for like who's the pitcher that I absolutely want, and I took Christopher Sanchez, right? Some of the models said Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and I was like, ugh, I don't know, arm fatigue, like, phew. Turns out he's okay. Felt it later on, though, because I took Ben Rice in the fourth and Miguel Garcia. Now, this is where my strategy came into play because I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to grab the guys that I want. The guy that I really wanted was Miguel Garcia, right? I felt like he was a Swiss Army knife for the Otani-led Turks. Ben Rice is, if you don't know, go look at his StatCast. He's red everywhere. He had catcher eligibility. That's a Turk sneak move. So I was a little shaken. Also, to point out, I was fully anticipating Logan Webb or Cole Reagans. So then it was like, oh shit. Took the Switchblades. Then, here's something interesting. I see Mason Miller go to the League of Shadows, and I'm like, okay, round 5. That's when I was expecting a closer. Tony's like, Gerardo Perdomo. At that point, The edibles hit. We lost Tony as a commish slash he didn't raffle anything until the end of the night. We were like hitting it hot. Oh man, you know? And then Tony was like, meh. He did take Joe Ryan, which I thought was sexy. But anyways, back to the draft. The Flyers, Byron Bucks in round 6, like, okay, I get it. I don't know. I was paying for Michael Harris, but Byron Bucks, right? And then you get into a bunch of unknowns. At this point, I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Did I take a first baseman or a catcher? Hunter Goodman, William Contreras. I like those guys. And I told myself right into the draft, don't draft a catcher until your last pick. Well, at this point, I pivot. I'm like, I'm going to build the greatest infield that you've ever seen. Right? Uh, I'm hoping, wishing, praying, loving, touching, squeezing. And all of a sudden, I get one of my picks of the draft, Vinny P. And then I thought, man, I really wanted Kyle Schwarber there. Ghost took him. I knew he was going to do that. Rightfully so. The guy was, mid-teens. No way he's coming back at 24. But then I was like, this is the last third baseman of the draft that I would want to roster. Case in point, Bo Bichette goes right after him. Then Shooter's doing some sneaky things. He's like, hey, I got Nick Pivetta. Oh, I got Yuri Perez. It's a rematch of last year. And then all of a sudden I notice like pitchers start going a little bit earlier. The tranny took Nolan McLean in the 7th round. I had him pegged at 98. Oh, look at this. CBS 112. Oh my God, Almighty Wood. Theme of the draft. League of Shadows and Almighty Wood. They must have been drafting from the same list because they took consistently minutes to take picks. I mean, 2 minutes for Christian Yelich. Holy fuck. Mikey Bonnick took 1 minute 52 seconds for Josh Naylor. Freddie Peralta, do better next time. Oh, we're back into the 8th round. Andres Munoz, 3 minutes 57 seconds. This is when I knew that I had the league like on a saves kind of disparity thing. I was like, holy shit, the guy, I love Munoz, but the guys that I want aren't gone. Also, I want to point out Edwin Diaz, Flyers, in the 7th. Here we go. Tyler Soderstrom. Shea Langoliers. If I hadn't had Ben Rice, I would have taken Shea. Love that guy to break out. Seiya on the IL. Transvestite was not paying attention to the World Baseball Classic. But then I lick my chops, I go, Joan Duran, Kate Smith, pow, pow, pow. It's basically like 100 strikeouts from both, being a little generous. And I don't have any pitching. Also, Diddle takes another pitcher that I want, Luke Keechel. He's like, yeah, I'll double up. I'll take the same player, Jacob Wilson, in the 9th. See, nobody can explain it. Diddle doubles up, but he still makes it to the playoffs and he wins a trophy. So we all got to shut up. Goodness gracious. Meanwhile, the New York Knights take their first closer, Aroldis Chapman. I was like, time will tell. What did the Turks do? Teoscar, Michael Harris. Okay. Michael Harris pick got panned. At this point, I shifted to, oh my God, I need outfield. Let me take the best player available. So I did both, right? Michael Harris pick got panned. I think he's on the up and up. New Braves team. Oh my God. Sliders are right. 33 seconds to take Mike Trout in the 12th. Whoo! Sometimes the pop goes a weasel. And then Griffin Jacks. What a penis. I was trying to take him early because I knew Shooter and Chu reacted. I probably could have waited another round. But again, go get the guys you want, right? Jacob Marcy. We take a break. Ain't no way I took 13 minutes to pick Citadine Raphael. I liked him for the second base. I've already dropped him. That's not bad for a 16th round pick. Boom! Noah Cameron, Jacob Lopez. Those guys are going to win the Cy Young. At this point, I'm just like filling out, right? Caballero. Can't believe he's not taken by Shooter yet. Another Shooter fave. I'm like, let me get him. Could be the new pick of the draft. Parker Messick. Earn a fifth spot. Just put up some zeros. Chad Patrick. The Illinois. The Wisconsin Brewer Factory is just cranking out some pitchers. Justin Sterner. Starting pitching eligibility. Maybe a closer for the Athletics. Already fucked up everything. Just getting the call. That's the draft. I wasn't here when they ran it, but apparently they liked Diddles first, Turks second. I was expecting one of the twins to put out their quaints, their clits, and run it through their metrics. That's the draft. Let's see who's up. Anybody? Yeah. Call him, give me some speaker.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, how's your vacation, Commish?
I'm sitting at a restaurant with Mr. Beatty and Rachel and the kids.
Oh, I'm really glad that Shooter's train pulled into the station eventually. Boom, roasted.
Shooter's train did show up, my man. Yeah.
Listen.
We're having oysters.
Hell yeah, I had my first oyster last year. It's an interesting kind of thing, but I was not expecting it. I was expecting it to be saltier. You know what I mean?
You were not what?
I was expecting the oyster to be saltier.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's a weird flavor. Yeah.
All right, glad you're with Shooter. I wanna ask you both. What was your pick of the draft, personally?
My pick was Shea Langoliers.
Yeah.
Hey, who was your pick of the drafts? Come on. I don't know. Schindler.
Cam Schlitter.
Yeah.
Both are good picks.
Yeah.
Hey, enjoy your vacation. You were just on the Encore Fantasy Podcast. Boom. Fucking love it. Can't believe we're just rolling tape. Cam Schlitter, that's typical Shooter. Was being difficult, but is a great pick. Shea Langoliers. Shout out John Boy Media. One of their guys said, from that team, they were doing a preview. Who do you expect to go off? Shea Langoliers. That was awesome. Who else can we call? We can try one of the more recent champs. Let's see. Who's having fun? I'm having fun.
Am I on the podcast?
Yeah, you are. You're the only one who's aware of it every time I call. Are you driving?
Yeah, we just had a volleyball game, so I'm on my way home. We had an awards ceremony we had to do.
Did you guys win?
Yeah, men's volleyball is really good. They smoked McHenry. So yeah, they're pretty good.
As long as it wasn't Duquesne from Pennsylvania. Really quick, I just want to know your pick of the draft personally. Like, who was the guy you got that you love?
The guy that I got that I love?
Yeah. And Shooter, I called Tony and Shooter said Bobby Witt, and I could feel him shrugging, like, what do you mean? But he came up with a good answer, Cam Schlitter. So, who do you got?
I guess I have to say either Jordan so far.
Man.
Or, maybe Max Fried.
Dude.
A lot of the lower guys so far have been doing good for me.
Both great picks, and both guys that I was kind of thinking about sort of taking.
Yeah.
Especially Max Fried. But I took Ben Rice and the guy that I really wanted, Mikhail Garcia, who I think is going to be second in MVP voting this year. But I mean, Ben Rice, nothing to not write home about. But I'm looking at the draft. Once Logan Webb and Cole Reagans went, I was half thinking. That's what took me 2 minutes. I was like, Max Fried, Ben Rice, Max Fried, and I was like, I can get Ben Rice playing catcher and first base. The only thing that I pout about is like Vinny Pasquantino fell to me later, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Ben Rice was a good pick. I like the pick of the draft. Besides, I liked Freed and I liked Jordan, but for me, keep your eyes out on Jose Soriano.
dude, he's dealing right now.
Dude, he was like way back half of the draft, so he could be
19.
he could be this year's Casey Mize.
Oh god damn it! You're gonna try to pin him on all this. Round 19 is where you got him. If I'm letting you know.
Jose Soriano, dude, that could be the pick of the draft.
You know who went right before Jose Soriano, and I feel
Who's
better.
that?
And I feel better about Parker Messick.
Yeah. He's doing okay.
Once a highly sought prospect, kind of carried a spring into the fifth starter. Anyways, drive safe, buddy. Thanks for your honest answers.
On your squad last week after he dealt, I think it was his first game. He did well.
He shut out the Dodgers, the defending World Series champions. But what hasn't gone well are my bats, which is okay. I know my bat. I mean, Shohei hasn't hit a home run yet, but he did pitch, shutout. But yeah, if nothing else, my closers, like lock that down and go ER whip, has exploded because all of my relievers, they're giving up homers.
Yeah. So is Brian Abreu. Brian Abreu, he's not doing so well right now.
Yeah, that guy sucks. Drop him and then go get the King guy. He's supposed to be the next man up. But that's part of the show is like a lot of waiver moves already in the first week. Like, I'm the one who makes drastic decisions. You got to ride it out, man.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make too many moves. I picked up a couple guys, but I'm not going too crazy early on.
Well, my team is built for spot starting, but I'm not going to drop core guys. I feel like core guys have already been dropped. Like Lawrence Butler, don't know where he's drafted, but I feel like he was some capital in Tony's team, you know?
Who's your worst pick of the draft, Josh?
Probably Justin Sterner, a guy I've already dropped.
I mean, everybody's draft, not just you.
My worst pick. Shit. Hold on. I got it. And I don't want to knock it too bad. I think it was round 6, maybe. Let's see. Wherever Shooter took O'Neal Cruz, I remember thinking like, oh my god, that's early. I don't know.
Yeah, he did knock 2 home runs yesterday.
Dude, I'm gonna eat my words because he's starting to slam left-handed pitching, and he can never do that. But yeah, hold on. Where's O'Neal Cruz? Is he 10, 11? Randy Arozarena? Oh, round 11. Okay, I'll piggyback. Shooter took Randy Arozarena in the 10th and O'Neal Cruz in the 11th. Yeah, I felt like those were shitty picks. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with I just had it.
Ben Rice.
I'm gonna go with Tony picking Will Smith.
Oh, you're right, dude. He took Will Smith. I think, dude, excellent observation, Kevin. He took Will Smith after he already had like a lockdown catcher.
Yeah, and then he traded him to Brian for Zach Gallen,
who was actually pretty good the other night, but only had 1K. And I mean, Zach Gallen's gonna He's gonna get hurt like a bitch. Yes, you are
That's
right.
that's a big trade for the usual suspects who are usually in this league that come playoff time because Ryan now is stuck with the playoff choker on his roster.
That's right, dude. You are so right. Who did he fucking? Hold on, I'm finding it. I'm finding it. Yeah, he took Will Smith like later, who I feel like is a solid catcher. Um,
Yeah, until playoff time.
yeah, you don't like him, do you?
No, he gets hurt all the time. And last year they kept him on they kept him out and not on the IL for a whole championship week.
Round 16, he took him, but yeah, he's only played like I looked at it. He's only played like 130 games last couple of years or whatever.
Yeah,
Let's
if you're gonna hold the guy out, at least put him on IL. But they never do.
Which is crazy. They just, I mean, because of Shohei, they can't play him DH, which is fucked. But hold on, I'm pulling up his draft. Oh, that's right. One of my picks of the draft, Shea Langoliers, right? So he had Shea Langoliers,
That
and
was a good pick.
and then yeah, he took fucking Will Smith. Like he, the edibles must have kicked in.
Yeah, he probably had two by then. One was okay, but you get him two, and then it's all downhill from there.
I actually like his team a lot. I, you know, he's got a lot of question marks from a health standpoint. I feel like Nico was love Nico a little bit early, but then he also like piggybacked that with Luis Arias, right? Like similar players, except Arias doesn't steal. You know.
Yeah, he'll drop Arias for sure.
And then
And I'll pick him up.
you'll pick his ass up. God damn it,
Yeah.
Kyle. All
Yeah.
right.
Who in the draft? Another one that could be the best pick of the draft. Who picked Yandy Diaz?
Iowa
Diaz,
Iowa Baseball Club.
legit. Is that Pansy?
Yep. I'm gonna call him next.
Every year, Yandy Diaz is legit.
Took him in the 9th round.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I
deal.
mean he does his thing, but like you know what was scary is like the Rays hitters are inflated because they played in the Yankees bandbox, and now they're back at Tropicana. You know what I mean? So
True.
the big thing was like downgrade the hitters but upgrade the pitchers again. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for joining the pod. Drive safe.
Hey, thanks for having me, Josh. Appreciate you.
Anytime. You're the best. You're the best guest. You're the only guest. But we love you. All right. Peace.
Awesome. Thanks.
That was Kyle from Diddle in the Middle. We'll get down with some others probably after these messages. Let's go see if we can get the ghost. Or, yeah, let's call the ghost. Kyle was 9 minutes long, so we just need to wrap it up. Keep these episodes under 30 minutes. He's probably doing bedtime if I know anything. Yep. Okay, here we go. We're doing one more. Maybe one more. Not really sure. We'll keep it going. Try to call some other people. Get their intakes. Pulling up contact listing right now. Let's see. God bless Diddle. Technically, Tony and Shooter pulled up. But we'll see. Okay. Going to it.
Yo, what up?
Choo!
Chew.
Hey,
What's going on?
what was your favorite pick of the Encore Fantasy Baseball draft? Like you personally.
me personally, let me think about this. Sandy Alcantara right now in the ninth, probably.
Really? Is that where you scooped him?
Yeah, I got him in the ninth. I just looked it up the other day because he had a complete game. I already liked him. He's kind of a bounce back, coming back, but ninth round's late for that. I feel like so that's probably my favorite pick.
Last year or two, he's been bounced around, like little injuries, but I think the championship before my most recent, I think Sandy Alcantara was my ace.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean Matthew Boyd, whoever grabbed him too, that's another guy I liked, but he's been on fire this year, so I bet you they got him late.
Damn,
Whoever
Chew.
that is.
Chew, you went pitching a little heavy. Like Chris Sale's your guy. You love him. I'm
Love Chris
always.
Sale.
Fun fact: I think I won a champion, like maybe my first championship with Chris Sale. Freddie Peralta,
Sweaty Freddy.
that's your guy. Then,
Yeah.
man, you took Kyle Bradish, like everyone's sweetheart darling.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, Scott White loves him.
Dude, he's on everybody's list. And then, right after Sandy, you took Gavin Williams, who I think just blanked the Dodgers. 10
He
Ks.
did last night. Yeah, it's 10 Ks, 6 innings. I know the Dodgers are coming out of the gate slow, but he looked dominant. He had his stuff that last night. I was watching the game.
Dude, I bet that like heavy for the Dodgers to like do the money line. Shohei doesn't have a homer yet. Like, stay the course. Stay the course.
I mean, are you recording this for your podcast or something?
Yeah, actually, I am. You're the second. You're the second person to call that out besides Diddle. Thanks for joining the pod. Love you.
Thanks.
That was true. Holy God. We get everybody. Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. We get everybody. This is a wild card. Let's try it. Not sure if it's going to happen. Holy God. This kid's never going to answer. Nope. I feel like we've had a fantastic run. We probably shouldn't jinx it. No, that's not true. Yeah, it is true. It's a big week one. Let's see our guy. Okay. Who's got time? Who's got time? Not gonna answer.
Hi, you've reached Scott.
More like League of Shadows, right? Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, I think we can do one more. And then we'll just cut it. Because it's basically like we need to go to commercial. And we haven't been there. So, wrap and review. I mean, I haven't asked anybody about the rule change. Personally, I think dropping the payouts, recognizing playoff achievement, removing the ad drop transactions. Schlegel would be proud because I feel like, drive the pot up. Why not? And then who's hot, who's not? Mike Trout's fucking hot. Okay, Max Fried is hot. That was one of the picks that I wanted. Do we have anybody else to add to it? Yeah, guy from Miami, maybe the catcher, first baseman. He's kind of going off. Who's not? All older players and every pitcher not named Max Fried. Everyone's getting rocked. Garrett Crochet's getting lit up. Paulie Skeen's getting pulled. 7 Ks, 5 innings. That's great. Is Libby gonna eat that nacho boat? We don't know. We don't know. Interesting first episode. Thanks for coming to the pilot. My love and appreciation for all the guys that called or picked up. If I needed you in the middle of the night, I'd call you, tell you to clear the beach. That's it. You've all been turked. Encore.